Most people can think clearly when everything is calm, quiet room, enough time, plenty of information. But real performance rarely looks like that. Deadlines appear, information is incomplete, pressure builds, everything becomes chaotic, and suddenly people who seemed intelligent start making terrible decisions. They panic, they hesitate, they overthink. Meanwhile, elite performers remain calm. Surgeons make life-saving decisions in seconds. Athletes react instantly during critical moments. Military leaders adapt to rapidly changing situations. Their advantage is not luck. It is not talent. It is a decision system, a way of thinking that works even when the environment becomes unpredictable. And once you understand how that system works, you begin to see why some people stay effective under chaos while others collapse. Chapter 1. The Pattern Library. The first difference between average performers and elite performers is pattern recognition. Experts rarely analyze situations from scratch. Instead, they recognize patterns they have seen before. Chess grandmasters do not calculate every possible move on the board. They instantly recognize familiar board positions. Doctors identify diseases by recognizing symptom patterns. Firefighters detect dangerous conditions in burning buildings within seconds. Years of experience build a mental library of patterns. When a new situation appears, the brain compares it to previous patterns. This allows experts to reach conclusions much faster than analytical thinking alone. Instead of thinking step by step, the brain jumps directly to possible solutions. Pattern recognition dramatically increases decision speed. Chapter 2. The Mental Model Advantage. Elite performers also rely on mental models. A mental model is a simplified representation of how something works. Instead of memorizing isolated facts, they understand systems. Economists use supply and demand models. Engineers use physical principles. Strategists use cause and effect frameworks. These models help them interpret complex situations quickly. When new information appears, they fit it into an existing framework. This reduces confusion. The brain does not need to analyze every detail. It simply applies the model. Mental models turn complexity into something manageable. Chapter 3. The Decision Shortcut. When time is limited, elite performers cannot evaluate endless possibilities. They rely on decision shortcuts. Psychologists call these heuristics, simple rules that guide action. For example, firefighters follow a rule called size up. They quickly assess structure fire behavior and escape routes. Athletes use situational rules during competition. If the defender moves left, attack right. If the opponent hesitates, accelerate. These shortcuts reduce decision time dramatically. Instead of analyzing every option, the brain follows tested rules. This allows faster action without sacrificing effectiveness. Chapter 4. Controlled Attention. Chaos destroys attention. Multiple stimuli compete for mental resources. Noise, movement, pressure. Elite performers learn to control attention in these environments. They narrow focus to the most relevant information. A quarterback ignores the crowd and watches defensive movement. A surgeon blocks out distractions and concentrates on the surgical field. A pilot focuses only on critical instruments during turbulence. This selective attention filters out irrelevant information. The brain processes only what truly matters. That focus keeps decision-making stable. Chapter 5. Calm under pressure. The final advantage elite performers develop is emotional control. Stress activates the brain's threat response. Heart rate rises. Breathing becomes shallow. Thinking becomes reactive. Elite performers train their physiological response to stress. Controlled breathing, mental rehearsal, repeated exposure to pressure. These techniques reduce the intensity of the stress response. The brain remains functional even during extreme conditions. Calm thinking becomes possible while others panic. Chapter ending. When you combine these principles, the system becomes clear. Build a large library of patterns through experience. Use mental models to simplify complex situations. Apply decision shortcuts to act quickly. Control attention by focusing on the most important signals. Train your stress response so the brain stays calm under pressure. Elite performers do not wait for perfect conditions. They build cognitive systems that function even when everything becomes unpredictable. While others hesitate, they move. While others panic, they think. And in high-stakes environments, that difference changes everything. Because in the real world, success rarely goes to the smartest person. It goes to the person whose thinking still works when the pressure is highest.